mind that we offer Blue Cross Blue Shield, we offer dental, we offer disability, we offer vision.
Good morning and welcome to Today in LA. I'm Mike Amos speaking to you from our studios on South Brundage Street in Troy, Alabama. Good morning to all of you watching on Facebook across the country and around the world this morning. 2 billion people have the opportunity to watch my show this morning. That's a lot of fun, isn't it? And of course, we appreciate all our staff people here that get us on the show and get us going every morning on Troy Cable Channel 2. Hope that you're doing well this morning as we start a Wednesday, the 20th day of March, and we're moving right along. And of course, football practice at Troy University got started yesterday, and well over 100 players were there. And of course, I dropped by and saw a little of it, and it looked pretty familiar to me. I tell you, you could hardly tell the difference, except the coach didn't have a mic like Coach Brown had. You could hear him all over the field because he was hooked up to a mic. And it wasn't a bad deal, the way they ran their practice. And, of course, Troy's practice looked awfully sharp and looked like they're ready to go. If body language has anything to do with it. We're waiting for Mike Amos to call in from Birmingham. We're waiting also for Max Howell, who is our guest every Wednesday, a nationally known football prognosticator and very knowledgeable football man. The Goshen Eagles win again, 11-1 this time. The Lady Eagles handle the Georgiana Panthers. The Goshen boys improved to 9-2 with 11-1 victory. The Lady Eagles fell to Luverne 12-10 in a heartbreaker. In the boys game, the Goshen boys improved to 9-2 on the year. McGuire Stanley got the start for Goshen Eagles. He pitched 4 innings, allowed just 1 earned run and 3 hits and 2 walks. He struck out 6. Caleb Gamble pitched the final 2 innings without giving up a hit. He struck out 2. Goshen finished with 4 hits in the win, led by Stanley, who finished 2-2 and with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. And Byron Galloway and Jeff Warwick had the other 2 hits, but that was enough to win. The Eagles moved right along under Coach Robbie Kinsall. Doesn't surprise me. I've known Robbie Kinsall for years, and he is a baseball man, believe you me. And, of course, the girls, Goshen Eagles, are always tough. Lost a heartbreaker. The Mary Kate Mills got the start and went 2 innings before giving up 8 total runs. And, of course, Lexi McClendon pitched the final 3 innings. The Eagles were led at the plate by Kate Warwick, Madison Campbell, Lydia Harrison, and Casey Wilkes. But the Tigers of Luverne were just a little bit tougher with a 12-10 win. Charles Henderson, and we did the game live on Troy Cable last night. The Trojans bounced back from being trailing 3-1 most of the game to defeat the Rehoboth Rebels 8-3, giving the Trojans their first Class 5A win of the season in their opener against the Rebels, and a good baseball game. I enjoyed it. Trojans ranked number 3 in class, win their 11th straight game in a row, so that's pretty good, and they can continue to win well as they come from behind, improving to 15-3 on the year. Charles Henderson has won 11 in a row, 14 out of the last 15. Senior right-hander Brock Huner led the Trojans. He worked the complete 7 innings for the victory on the mound for the Trojans. And Coach Matt Whitten, a big area win for him, and I know he was excited about it. But anytime you come out and win like that, it makes you feel good to know that you can come from behind against a good team. Rehoboth took a 1-0 lead in the top of the first inning, DJ Law was hit by a pitch and later scored on a double by Carson Herring. Charles Simpson tied it up in their half of the first inning when Chance Pollard walked and scored on a Lawson Scarborough ground ball to the left side of the infield. We got a call coming in. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Hi, morning.
That's Lower Alabama, sir. Lower Alabama. And, of course, we're talking about
You're in Lower Alabama. I'm in the Florida Panhandle, North Florida Panhandle, I guess.
Is it cool this morning in Florida?
Yeah, it's around 49 degrees, so it's a little chilly down here this morning. Been beautiful down here, though. It's been sunny skies for about 4 or 5 straight days. It's supposed to be that way until, I think, Monday afternoon. It's the first time the rain's supposed to come, so whoever's on spring break this week, I know Montgomery is, and I mean, all you see down here is Tennessee tags now. I mean, it's just unbelievable how many people from Tennessee come down to the 30A area.
Yeah. Did it look like you got a big crowd down there?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like there's a lot more bikes and kids and families down here than you had last week. So I guess that's just part of living down here. Spring break, you got different groups. You got a big group of people from Atlanta coming and using that last week of spring break, and right now it's just all Alabama, Tennessee, and you see a lot of Texas as well.
Yeah, isn't that amazing how they'll drive all the way over there for spring break? Of course, it's a great place to be. Grayton Beach, Florida, located directly between Panama City and Fort Walton, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, if anybody's trying to find greatness, you got Seaside, Watercolor, and then you got Grayton, and then you got Blue Mountain, and then Santa Rosa Beach, and then before you know it, you're in Destin, and Fort Walton Beach. I went to Fort Walton Beach yesterday, and man, I forgot how beautiful that is, to drive through Destin, and then you go over that bridge with the Crab Island out there with the jetty going out into.
But there wasn't anybody on Crab Island this time of year, was it? Was there anybody out there? Of course, usually it's just covered with boats.
Yeah, there was tons of boats out there, and then I didn't realize. I remember going to Fort Walton a lot when I was little, but I totally forgot all those sand dunes.
They have a rolling restroom and a rolling a snack bar at Crab Island.
I've heard about that.
I mean, you can use the restroom if you just step off on this boat and you use the restroom, or you could jump on a boat that's selling cold drinks.
Well, I tell you what, I guess I used to go to Destin all the time when I was in college, and used to go down there quite a bit, but I haven't been down there probably in years, and I had no clue how big it had gotten down there. I mean, it's like another world. Yeah, all the different restaurants and all the different shops.
What's the problem you face is the traffic. I mean, it's terrible traffic. I mean, you can't move.
Yeah, I mean, the lights are just, I think it was better coming back yesterday, but I mean, the lights are just some of the worst you'll ever find. Like, sometimes you'll go, I'd say you go almost 25 minutes and only go 3 miles.
Oh, man. That's what makes it tough. The Northwest Florida is awfully busy this time of year anyway, but you take the Front Beach Road in Panama City, so you can get off at about every few hundred feet. You can get off and go to get out of traffic,
Yeah, I mean, 98 down around Panama City Beach, Bay County area is so much faster than 98, down there going around Destin into Fort Walton. So, I mean, thank goodness, and once you hit Destin, that straight away to Fort Walton over that bridge for about 6 or 7 miles is not bad at all. But before that, it's awful.
Yeah. Good morning, and want to wish all of you a good morning in the Ozark area. Ran into a good buddy of mine, Sam Judah, and of course we appreciate him very much. Of course, his son Sam Jr. Mike is playing, is coaching baseball at Charles Henderson now. He's not playing pro ball anymore, and of course he played and coached over at North Georgia College, and now he is coaching at Charles Henderson High School. Good to have him, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, maybe he had a relationship with the coach that came from Enterprise. I'm not sure how that worked out. I remember he played minor league ball and playing the independent leagues and put up really good numbers. We used to talk about him on the show.
Yeah, of course, I'm thinking that he made it all the way to Triple A at one time, which is pretty good. Of course, he was a shortstop.
I know he had a pretty good career. Looks like A.J. McCarron's found a new home. The former Alabama great quarterback was released by the Raiders, is now a Houston Texan.
Houston Texan. He's gonna make it.
He'll back up to Sean Watson, so maybe that's a good gig for A.J. It's a 1-year contract for $3 million. I wouldn't pass it up.
That's not bad money, is it? You know, if he gets a chance, I think he'll make it. I thought he was sitting pretty good with Cincinnati because their quarterback's so inconsistent. And, you know, he's just a hard hit away from playing. You know, a quarterback can go down any time, you know.
I mean, especially the NFL. I mean, you see quarterbacks go down every game almost. Another win for Alabama softball team. This is pretty amazing. Alabama softball team is number 3 in the country, and they're 31-0.
31-0. Of course, you know, Troy played them tough in the tournament early in the year. And I watched that Alabama team, and I said, well, you know, they don't look like they're so special, you know, but they sure were, you know.
Also, local news, hate to hear this, but we knew this was going to happen. Chuck Person changes his plea to guilty on bribery charges from the NCAA basketball scandal that's coming out. So Chuck Person has pleaded guilty and will have to serve 3 years in prison.
Well, I hate that.
Forfeit the $92,000 he received in bribes. So, interested to see what's going to happen with this case. They say it's coming out in April. There's going to be some other coaches involved. A lot of people say Bill Self in Kansas is really going to get hit hard. Arizona, Sean Miller, their coach, is going to get hit hard. And could be a lot of open jobs here in the next few months.
Well, you know, the Kansas coach, you know, that surprises me. You felt like he could get anybody he wanted to without cheating, didn't you think?
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's, you know, a situation where apparently this is
when you say Bill Self is
long time in basketball, and now, you know, they're finally going to try to do something about it, looks like.
When you say he's one of the top 5 coaches in America?
Self?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, I agree with that.
And why does a guy like that have to cheat? You know, that's what bothers me, you know.
Well, I mean, it's one of those situations where, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just hard to tell these people no.
Yeah. Mike, let me finish up on this Charles Henderson game. They came from behind and beat Rehoboth 8-3 yesterday. The Trojans cut the lead to 3-2 in the bottom of the third as Pollard, boy, he's an outstanding player. Chance Pollard was hit by a pitch and later scored on a wild pitch with Cole McWhorter at the plate. The Trojans went ahead 4-3 in the bottom of the 5th when Darrell Lee, and gosh, this kid is going to be something now. He's just a 9th grader, already an outstanding pitcher, but he's also an outstanding hitter. He doubled, and Pollard reached on an infield throwing there. Huner singled to drive in a run, and then Lawson Scarborough, Mike, single again, and McWhorter laid down a bunt and sacrificed Pollard. Charles Henderson tacked on 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning, and made score 8-3, and that's how it ended, 8-3.
What is Charles Henderson's record now? 14-3.
Now, how about this? 15-3, and they've won 11 straight, 14 out of the last 15, and the reason.
Can we say Charles Henderson baseball is back? Is that what we're finally able to say?
I'm thinking that. Matt Whitten has done a super job. You know, he's a native of Enterprise, and he has been around some good programs, and he came to Troy, I'm sure, well received by the Charles Henderson people because he's won a lot of baseball games over the years. He had coached, I think, something like 6 years prior to coming to Charles Henderson. And, of course, now...
I know he wasn't the head coach at Enterprise. Head coach at Enterprise won the Spanish Fort last year.
He sure did, and they're good friends. And, you know, he got an opportunity.
That's the guy that was the stream coach with Shaughnessy.
That's right.
Great guy. I met him a few times. Played baseball at Montevallo. Was an All-American there. I can't remember his name right now. But
that's right.
Really super nice guy.
And bring now Sam Judah Jr., bring him to Troy. That's going to help us a lot. Of course, he's a former Carroll High star and found a home here at Charles Henderson, and we're glad to have him.
Of course, the NCAA playing games last night, I was correct. You were wrong. I took Fairleigh Dickinson to beat Prairie View.
Fairleigh Dickinson, boy, oh boy, how could anybody pick Fairleigh Dickinson in anything?
They won 82-76, and then the Belmont, what is Belmont's nickname? What is the Belmont? The Bruins? I want to say Belmont Bruins.
Yeah, they're the Bruins. I think you're right. I think they're the Bruins.
They won 81-70 over Temple, so they blew out Temple, which is
I
a great
watched that
college
game.
basketball program. So kudos for Belmont to win, and I think I got Belmont winning the next game as well.
I've got Belmont
against
too.
Maryland.
I got Belmont too, and we're gonna look at our brackets this morning as we get started.
We got 2 more playing games tonight as well.
Yeah. Want to mention Piggly Wiggly's got their ground beef on sale, $2.49 a pound, ground chuck at Piggly Wiggly today, and also their small whole fryers on sale, and they've got those delicious small pork spare ribs, $1.69 a pound. All kinds of deals going on right now at Piggly Wiggly. Remember, cost plus 10% every day at Piggly Wiggly on North 39th Street, Piggly Wiggly on Marketplace Shopping Center right here in Troy. Mike, we had some steaks. We fed the Troy football staff, all the coaches, and
how many steaks you have to have for feeding the whole football staff?
We had 59 steaks. We had 59 steaks, and they were all delicious, tender, and they all were cut at Piggly Wiggly. We got a call coming in, Mike. I'm gonna put you on hold here a second. Let's go to our phones. Good morning. You're on Today in LA. How you doing?
Hey, Mike, it's Will Matthews.
Will Matthews, won't you please come home? Will, I ran into a good friend of yours yesterday, and he told me most everything you say is not true. His name was Sam Judah Sr. Sam Judah.
Oh, yeah, he and I went to high school together.
He told me that. Is he Sam Jr. or is he Sam the first?
He's Sam the first, and his father's name is Dirkwood.
Durwood, and if I remember right now, and Sam, if you're watching this morning, it's a well-known fact that his daddy was the Coca-Cola man. Is that right?
No, that was his uncle.
Oh, okay. But he was the big Alabama guy that got all these guys from Ozark. In fact, he got Dexter Wood, Ellis Beck, and Wilbur Jackson all to go to Alabama. Isn't that right?
Well, he may take credit for it, but I think Pat Dye did that.
Oh, did he? Was he recruiting them?
Yeah, Pat Dye recruited all of them.
You know who he recruited the year before? A guy named Marvin Barron. Have you ever heard that name?
I have not.
Have you never heard of Marvin Barron that went from Charles Henderson to Alabama? And, of course, he was in that wreck with Jeff Rousey, ruined his career. But Marvin Barron was a great player out of Charles Henderson the year before that happened.
Yeah.
And, of course, we had a guy named Buddy Austin that was an outstanding player, and he ended up signing with Troy, but he was a great one back then. But I don't know if any town the size of Ozark could have ever claimed 3 players to play from the same small town to sign with Alabama and start for Alabama. You remember that?
Yeah, and start. Yeah, they all 3 started.
All right, I'm going to put you on hold and bring Michael in, so we'll have both of you in here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see, we got it here. I think we'll have it one more push here. Conference. All right, got both of you on, is that right? Hello?
Will's on.
Mike, are you on? We lost Michael. He'll be calling back in a minute. Will Matthews. What's going on, Will?
Not much. I'm on my way to Clanton this morning.
Clanton, man, that's peach country. You gonna bring back us a bunch of peaches?
I don't think they've made them yet, but
You must be meeting somebody halfway from Ozark to Birmingham. Is that right?
no, I've got a case up here in Chilton County Courthouse.
Oh, do you? Okay. Have you ever had one up there before?
It's been years ago.
So you're driving, and listen, one of my favorite places is that ice cream place there, peach place. Make sure you get some of that peach ice cream before you leave.
Yeah.
But you have to watch your sugar, though. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
of course, we're waiting for Max Howell to call in this morning. He's calling in from Fulton, Mississippi. We got my good friend Will Matthews. I ran into your buddy Sam Judah at the Charles Henderson game, and I put two and two together. And of course, his son Sam Judah the second, Will, is now coaching at Charles Henderson.
I did not know that.
And boy, he was an outstanding baseball player to come out of Carroll High School of Ozark. You remember that, don't you?
And he had a good minor league career and just never got to the...
Well, I think he went all the way to AAA, which is that's the next stop to the major leagues. That's pretty good.
And he was hitting over 300 and for some reason didn't make it to the majors.
Well, it's always, different situations. And, of course, I think he ended up going to North Georgia College and coached there. He played at Auburn Montgomery and was an outstanding player for them.
Yeah.
Well, what's going on?
Troy is a good baseball town, so he's in a good place.
No question about it. And, evidently he and Coach... the Troy coaches are good friends, and they'll blend real well together. Well, how did you do on your play-ins last night? Did you get any of them right?
Oh, I didn't pay any attention to either one of those things.
You didn't?
Whoever.
Well, Belmont won, and so did Farley Dickinson. They both won.
Belmont can really score. I like that.
They remind me a lot of the old Vanderbilt teams, but let me tell you what they did that impressed me. They had a big guy underneath, and they would get the ball underneath to him, and he would either score or get fouled. And they weren't trying to hit the three every time down. They would get this guy inside. He was killing Temple, and he ended up being the difference in the game. I think he got 20-something points and something like 12, 15 rebounds.
Yeah, that was Fran Duffy's last game.
Oh, really?
He retired, yep.
Now, who is he the coach of?
Temple. He's been coaching for years and years and years.
Well, there was a coach there before him that was a household name that coached there for years. Cheney, yeah.
He was a great coach.
Yeah, exactly right. Of course, we were talking to Will Matthews, and anything else, I noticed that on the trial in Ozark, and Will Matthews is very familiar with what's been going on over there. The lawyer there is trying to get them to move the trial. Is that right?
I missed it, Mike. What were you saying?
On the trial, on the situation in Ozark, with the lawyer for Craney or whatever his name is trying to get the trial moved to another town.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
Because of and I'm sure. What do you think his chances are?
Well, I mean, the case is so old. I would think there's a very little chance it's going to be moved.
Yeah. So, and of course, that's a lot going on there. You were very knowledgeable of it.
The case is 20 years old, so I don't see how they can get a fair jury that doesn't know anything about the case. So, I would think.
Yeah. So do you think they'll be able to get it changed? You don't think so?
I think it'll be there in Ozark, but I think it'll be like several months before they have it.
Yeah, I got you.
It may be next year before they have it.
Exactly right. Will Matthews calling in from Ozark. Are you? Of course, he has the Matthews Law Firm, and that firm has been there since the mid '50s, Will, or what?
56.
56. That's a long time ago.
Yep.
Let's see, Ozark, if I can remember. Let me just figure in my mind. They had a guy named Speed. Did that name sound right? A guy named Speed.
What did he do?
He played football.
I don't remember him.
And then, now, do you remember Coach Wooliford there?
Oh, yeah.
Call him Skeeter. Well, didn't they call him Skeeter?
I don't know. Max would know. I don't know.
Of course, I can remember way back seeing Ozark play Troy in football and a lot of other sports, and Coach Wooliford, Bobby Wooliford was his name, coached on that staff down there at Carroll.
I talked to Cecil Skinner the other day, and he's very high on that Mountain Brook coach.
Well, do you think the Mountain Brook guy has a chance? I mean, do you think he's got some support?
I think the guy's the best high school coach in the state of Alabama.
I think.
I don't know if they want a high school coach or if they want to try to get a top line assistant from somewhere that wants to come, but I don't know. This is a good time to get a coach, though.
Oh yeah, no question about it. And we're talking about Bucky McMillan, the head coach at Mountain Brook in Birmingham, and he has taken them to several state championships, and
he won 5 out of the last 7 in the top rated schools.
Yeah.
So he's 7A now. He was 7A. Now he's 7A.
And I'll tell you what he does that's so good. His teams, they pressure like the old UCLA press, and they're known for that. And that's one of the reasons they feel like they're better than most is they play that pressure defense. That what you call that 40 minutes of hell. You've heard of that before?
Yeah, the only thing about that, I don't think Troy's got a big man unless he recruited a big man, because you've got to have a big man in that deal to play back on that 2-2-1 press.
Yeah.
Because if they break the press, you've got to have somebody down there that can.
That's right. It'll slap it. That's right. Exactly. And of course, it's been proven in high school. I don't know, if his style can still win in the college ranks. Let me put you on hold and bring Mike back in here. Hold on a minute. Good morning. You on Today in L.A.? How you doing?
Hey, morning. I guess I lost you somehow.
All right, let me get you in here. I've got I'll put you on hold, and now let's see if here. All right. All right, let's see here.
You got me.
All right, here we go. That should do it. Have we got both of you now? Will, we got you? Mike, got you?
Yeah, you got
all
me.
right, we got them all in here. I'm getting better with this. The show's brought to you by Pike County Ford on the bypass right here in Troy. You're looking for a Ford car truck. Believe you me, no better place than Pike County Ford.
Troy opened spring football yesterday. Did you get out there and watch it?
Yeah, I watched it for about 30 minutes, and you know what? It didn't look dime bit of difference. It looked so much very similar to the way that they had been running it the last 4 or 5 years.
I mean, Neil Brown was out had a microphone though when
That's
he was
right.
on the field, didn't he?
I mentioned that earlier. That Coach Lindsey does not have a mic on, but it's not a bad idea. I like the way that he was able, Coach Brown was able to do that with a mic.
Then you will arrive at your destination.
Okay, Mike, we've got Will on the other line. And
Will just made his destination, is what it just said.
Where you going, Will? Where you going?
I am in Clanton, Alabama.
Oh, man, in the Peach City of the state of Alabama, ladies and gentlemen. Will Matthews calling in from Peach City. You bring us back some peaches now.
Yeah, peaches don't come out for a while.
Will, can I go ahead and make my orders on...
A peach milkshake from Durham Farms.
Yeah. All right, Will, go ahead and write this down. I want a pink master's hat. I want a pink one, and I want a lavender one. I don't know if they got one like that. You've gotten me almost every hat known to man, but I do want a pink one if you've got one, and maybe also an orange one.
I thought Will wasn't going.
I'll make you a deal. If you get me a ticket, I'll bring all.
Will, it's not like you now not to have a ticket. I thought you'd at least go to the practice round.
I've got people looking, and right now I don't have a ticket.
So So the streak's going up.
Sam Judah could be watching. You know, with all those insurance, Circle Insurance, one of the largest insurance companies in this part of the country. You know, Sam can get you tickets.
I don't know. I doubt it.
Sudden Sam Judah, I thought he could get tickets. He could go and call one of these big insurance companies and say, "Hey, send me some Masters tickets."
Hey, this is the hardest ticket in the world to get, and I've been lucky. And last year, I didn't have any and got lucky. A guy from Sweden that played for Wallace College got me 2 tickets for the practice round on Wednesday where they have the par 3.
Yeah, I got you.
I got to go to that. But right now, I don't have anything, and I'm trying. I mean, I'm calling everybody out.
Yeah. I would love just to go to the practice round. If somebody out there can get me in the practice round, I'd love it. And Mike, you'd probably go with me, wouldn't you?
You know, they have a lottery that you can sign up for every year. I had a buddy, he had no connection to Augusta, but he got in on the lottery, and he was able to go to a practice round.
Yeah, no question about
Michael, we put 7 chances in the lottery. I put 1, my daughters put 1, their husbands put 1, my son and his wife. We had 7 chances, and we were 0 for 7.
Well, that's
I figured Will would be down in Biloxi for the start of the NCAA basketball tournament tomorrow. I imagine that'll be pretty fun down in the sports books tomorrow down in Biloxi.
I would think, it would be fun to put a little money on some of these games, but.
Well, I like Belmont and the way they play, Mike. And this guy, how many did he get last night? The guy inside for Belmont, do you know?
I didn't get to watch too much of it. I watched just a little bit of it. But, yeah, they had a guy that, Belmont's a team that everybody on the floor can shoot lights out.
Yeah. I'll tell you something, their coach, and he's been like this for the last 10 or 15 years. He's an excellent coach. And he just laid back. He wears just plain old plaid shirts and, doesn't try to be real showy. But, buddy, he got mad at his team when Temple in the second half, actually tied the game. And, boy, he got in his players' laps like I've never seen anybody. I mean, he got all over them.
I watched some of that first game, and the team from
Farley Dickinson?
No, not Farley Dickinson. The other team.
Oh, Prairie View, yeah.
Prairie View was ahead by 15 points.
And I had Prairie View and lost. Is that right, Mike?
Yeah, you just took him on the show, yeah.
How many? Again, find out how many points that guy got from Belmont. What we were talking about was they get the ball inside to him, and buddy, he was almost automatic, and he would either score or get fouled, and he was deadly from the line. I bet he had 25 points last night for Belmont. Do you know?
I'm surprised Belmont never, Vanderbilt never tried to get Belmont's coach. Coach Bird would have been a really good coach at Vanderbilt, probably.
Well, I tell you what, he's been a great coach at Belmont, and again, they win. Now they're in, and they'll play who, Mike?
They'll play Maryland.
They'll play Maryland, and then Farley Dickinson will play. Who will they play now?
I have to look on the bracket. I don't have a bracket in front of me right now.
I've got one in front of me.
Belmont's 27-5, so they have a great team.
Okay, they'll play Gonzaga. Farley Dickinson will play Gonzaga, 30-3. And now... McLean last night had 29 for Belmont. That's who I'm talking about. He is a great player, Mike. How tall is he?
I'll have to look and see.
6'8", 6'9". But
he
is a player.
That he's a guard.
His name is McLean. All right, well, maybe I got the wrong one.
He's only 6'3", 190.
All right, that might be a different one than the one I was thinking about was that big man inside that was so tough,
Well, they're going to go to Jacksonville and play Maryland, and that'll end there.
Well, I don't know now. I don't know. We are Belmont, Will. We are Belmont.
Belmont can't hang with Maryland, I'll guarantee you.
Okay, the other play-in is tonight. You've got North Dakota State playing North Carolina Central, and you got Arizona State playing St. John's. Do you know anything about these guys, Mike?
I mean, we talked about it yesterday. I mean, you got two former great players going at it. You know, Bobby Hurley's the coach of Arizona State, and Chris Mullen's the coach of St. John's. A local connection, Josh Roberts, the kid out of Charles Henderson and Troy, is the player for St. John's.
Now tell us about this kid, Mike, from Troy, Alabama.
You know about him way more than I do. I mean, he played basketball.
I saw him play.
Played football, I think, a little bit, you said.
Yeah, he's a great shot blocker, and he plays for, like you said, nobody picked him up in football. He was a real good wide receiver, and he went, I want to say, to a school in South Florida.
A prep school in Florida before he went to St. John's.
And then, out of all the people St. John's gets him, this guy's 6'9", that can jump out of the gym, and he'll be. I'm sure a lot of people will wish him luck. In fact, I hope St. John's wins because of him.
Right. Well, I mean, it's one of those things where, Mullen, I think, was trying to save his job this year. He had been at St. John's for 4 or 5 years, never made the NCAA tournament, so that probably helped him keep his job.
And, of course, Mullen was a former great, and then Bobby Hurley was a former great. These are two of my favorite college players, Mike, going against each other. You know, back when they played college.
A lot of people don't realize Bobby Hurley, his NBA career, basically never lasted more than 2 years because he was in a horrible automobile accident where he almost lost his life and never played again.
You know, I forgot that, and you're exactly right. I remember that happening now, but I forgot to put that together. And so Hurley had a pretty good team, I'm sure, at Arizona State. Now, Arizona, you know what? I didn't see they didn't make the tournament. Arizona didn't make the tournament. UCLA didn't make the tournament. What happened, man?
Only 2 teams on the Pac-10 made it. Or Pac-12 made it.
Isn't that amazing?
Actually, Oregon won the tournament. Oregon won the tournament, so they made it. So only 3.
Yeah. Does that surprise you, Will, not seeing Arizona or UCLA in the tournament?
Well, that's a very weak conference, and they both had terrible years this year. UCLA fired their coach after about 8 or 9 games.
And he was a household word from Indiana. Did they ever give that job to him at Indiana? Did he ever coach at Indiana?
No, he coached Iowa.
And you would have thought he would have gone back to his old stomping grounds at Indiana. We're talking about.
He'll get another head coaching job, I'm sure, after the season's over.
What's his name again?
Steve Alford.
Yeah, Steve Alford. Yeah, he was one of my favorite college players. He was a great college player.
Yeah, the Pac-12. I mean, the Pac-10 was really down, and then like I said, the Pac-12. I'm sorry, but Oregon ended up winning the tournament, so that's the only reason they got another team in. But Washington played Auburn this year. They're the best team in the league, and when they played Auburn at Auburn beat them by 20.
Well, let me tell you this: Will's got a ace in a hole, and his ace in the hole is Buffalo. He loves Buffalo, Mike, and I love Michigan State. I wouldn't doubt Michigan State didn't go a long way because Izzo is such a great coach. What do you think, Will?
Well, Michigan State's the number 2 seed. They're supposed to.
Yeah, you're right. And Buffalo is the number 6 seed, though. Will, that'll tell you something.
Buffalo, I'm gonna tell you, Buffalo's got some talent, and I've been keen on Buffalo all year. They got a real good team.
Well, Buffalo is going to play the winner of the Arizona State St. John's game. Is that right?
I don't know. I don't know where they play.
I think that's right, yeah.
Those are both 11 seeds. That makes sense.
That's right. Buffalo will get to sit out the first game. Then.
They don't sit out the first game. They play on Thursday or Friday. These other teams
that's right. They play on the 22nd. That's right.
Tuesday and Wednesday, and then they have to play another game.
Oh, the 24th. They play on the 24th.
The real tournament, your real bracket, you can still fill out. Anybody out there, don't worry about the play-in games.
That's right.
Fill out the 64, and that's what your bracket's going to be.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Of course,
Alabama's playing Norfolk State tonight in the NIT in Tuscaloosa. I'm going to say the crowd there will be 1,500 people.
How much would a game like that cost? Probably $20 or $25, wouldn't it?
I think really good seats are 20, and then just general admissions 14.
What is Norfolk State's moniker? What are they? Norfolk State.
I'm looking for it. I can't find it.
What's their monitor?
the Tigers or the whatever they're called.
I'll have to look.
You know, let me tell you a good feeling that I got this morning. Mario Davenport, you know, she's the girl from Charleston, 6'4" girl that was kept out of the state playoffs and was unable.
She played. I thought they let her play.
Yeah, she ended up playing.
Well, she ended up playing.
Yeah, she played and they got beat. They got beat by Ramsey.
Well, they got beat, and but she's going to play.
That didn't even win at all.
She was snubbed in the state All-Star game, the Alabama-Mississippi or state basketball All-Star game. But now she's been selected for the National All-Star game. The Trojan Senior runner-up to the state's Miss Basketball awarded last week is going to be playing in the Jordan Brand Classic, and that's coming up in Las Vegas. So congratulations to her. She's going to be playing in a National All-Star game, and of course she's already signed with Rutgers University, and but I'm so glad that a very nice thing has happened to her before she leaves high school.
Yeah, she's playing in the Jordan Brand tournament. The kid out of Mount Brook's playing on the men's side, Tristan Wofford.
Yeah. Will, so right now, Will loves Duke, and he loves. Now you don't think Buffalo's gonna beat Gonzaga, though, do you?
Yeah, I've got them going all the way to the Final Four.
He's got Buffalo going to the Final Four. I've got Gonzaga beating Buffalo. Mike, do you have Gonzaga, or who do you have? Florida State in that bracket, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's three different choices. That'll tell you how good that bracket is there, Will. You got Buffalo, Gonzaga, and Florida State. And Michigan's in that group. Boy, that's a tough one to hold right there. Wouldn't you say, Mike?
Yeah, it is. Norfolk State is the Spartans.
Yeah, okay.
And for the Spartans, go Spartans.
Okay.
Go, go.
You would be the only one. There's a lot of people that want Alabama to lose that game tonight.
Yeah.
I want them to lose, and then we'll be done.
Shame on you. You know what? Your buddy is watching our show this morning, talking about Sam Judah, and Sam Judah loves his Alabama Crimson Tide.
What do you think Josh Jacobs ran the 40 in yesterday at Alabama?
Josh Jacobs.
I'd say probably 4.6.
4.4.
4.6, you're right. Will's right at 4.6. And then Mac Wilson did not help his stock at linebacker. Of course, he came out early, the kid from Carver who played horrible in the national championship game. Mac Wilson at linebacker. Devin Bush, the star linebacker at LSU, ran a 4.4 at the combine. Mac Wilson didn't run at the combine. And Alabama's pro day yesterday, he ran a 4.65. So not great times.
Yeah, but you know, like old Bud used to say, if you run 4.6 all the time, you're pretty fast.
Well, that's what he said. He said, I didn't come to college to run track. I came to college to play football. He said, look at my game film.
I love it. I love it. That is good. Of course,
Josh Jacobs is supposed to be a top 10 pick, though.
Yeah, and that's going to hurt. Wilson, Mike, I think in a way he might have made a mistake coming out early because he was hurt. I would think he would have been better off staying at Alabama.
No, Matt Wilson was hurt.
He won?
I don't buy them 40 times. I don't buy them. I've never bought them. Emmitt Smith had a terrible.
Oh yeah.
And he was one of the greatest running backs to ever play.
Yeah.
His game speed is how you run in those paths.
Yeah.
That's right, and he was great.
I want to mention this morning also that Keith Gill is the new commissioner of the Sun Belt Conference. And
we mentioned that yesterday.
Congratulations to him, and hopefully he'll make some things happen in that league. And of course, Troy's women, Mike, will host UAB in the women's NIT tomorrow night here in Troy, and that should be a lot of fun.
Huge crowd, I would think, for that game. I mean, not many times you get to play one of your rivals in a postseason tournament, so I would think a lot of people show up for that.
Yeah, and no question about it. students actually get in free. General admission is $5, but students get in free. I'm sure Troy is paying for that probably. Troy is 22-8, finished third in the Sun Belt, and won at least 20 games for the third time in 4 seasons. And UAB earned, listen to this, they're 25-6, and they were second place in the Conference USA bracket. So that's going to be quite a game. I'm planning on going. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, Troy's had a great season and didn't play well in the Sun Belt tournament, so this is a chance to win the first postseason game ever in Troy women's history tonight if they can beat UAB. Which is tomorrow night.
Want to mention Circle Insurance this morning in Ozark on Andrews Avenue in Ozark, and of course one of the leading insurers in the Dale County area. Been around a long time. Will Matthews is on the phone with us this morning, and Will is heading to Clanton. And of course, have you had breakfast yet, Will? What's the deal, man?
Yeah, I'm sitting in front of the courthouse right now.
Oh, you really? And they said, what is that guy doing out there in front of the courthouse? They probably called the police to come in there and check you out.
I'm waiting for it to open is what I'm doing.
Okay, and of course, are you ready? Do you feel like you're gonna win?
Well, if I don't come up here to lose.
So you do travel around in your law practice, though, is that right?
I'm not like Avery Johnson. I just want to have a 500 season. I like to have a winning season.
Yeah, exactly. Mike, there's a new school in the state of Alabama. Wallace College of Dothan, ranked number 10 nationally, swept a doubleheader at Coastal Alabama South on Tuesday. Have you ever heard of that school?
I have not.
It's a junior college, but I've never heard of it before. And
I heard Dothan High's new nickname is going to be the Wolves. Will, what do you think about that?
That's stupid, but yeah, I know.
Well, they were the Tigers for years, and they were the Northview.
They couldn't be the Wiregrass, the Dothan Wiregrass.
I don't know why. I love Northview Cougars. That was a good thing.
I'll tell you something that's real important. What color the uniform's going to be? Are they going to be garnet and gold like Northview? Northview had a good-looking uniform, garnet and gold, like Florida State.
I think they're going to be black and red.
Red and black like Dothan High School. Is that right?
Right.
Okay, and they should be a good team.
So they're officially going to be one school. I mean, has this new school been built?
They're going to have it in Northview.
Yeah.
So everybody's just moving over to Northview.
And Dothan High is going to be a middle school.
So they didn't have to add more buildings or anything?
No.
Oh, wow, okay.
I want to throw up.
Is there a plan on down the road to build a new school?
Nope.
So they have that many students that can merge together and go to Northview can house that many. That's amazing. I didn't know that.
We'll go get you a sack or something, because you're fixing to throw up when I tell you something that I just come across in the Montgomery Advertiser. Mike Trout with the California Angels is very close to a 12-year deal worth $432 million. Is any baseball player or athlete known to man worth that kind of money?
Well, he is evidently because they're playing.
Mike Trout, $431 million or 32.
They say he's Mickey Mantle, though.
Yeah, but hey, he doesn't jump out to me like that, gosh. But then he was Trout set a baseball record for career earnings at about $513 million, surpassing Alex Rodriguez's $448 in the Seattle, Texas, and the Yankees from 94 to 17. Gosh, how did he do this? But right now he's going to sign, and let's see now, how many $1 million a year is this? Do the math, Will. Is that $60 million a year? What is that running into?
I heard he made $90,000 a day.
He made what?
$90,000
a day. He makes $90,000 a day. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Man, oh man, oh man, man, oh man.
Well, I mean, Harper just signed for $330 million.
This is for 12.
Money too.
How much did Harper go for?
$330 million.
Oh boy.
13 years, I think.
Yeah, I'm saying this is gonna.
I can understand signing him, but I just don't know these 12 and 13-year contracts. I mean, later in career, guys wear down and are hurt and don't produce.
I agree with you exactly.
The only people that do that are people on steroids like Mark McGwire and Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa. You know, they're in their 40s hitting 60 home runs a year. And, you know, obviously they were on steroids and cheating, but
exactly.
You know, that just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, okay. We got Max Howell trying to get in here, and we're having a hard time getting both of them in here at one time. Three of them in here. We're going to be bringing him in here in a moment. But if you look at this kind of deal, it's we're talking about $35 million a year for the next 12 years. That's where it looks like to me. $35 million.
By the way, Mike, my accountant, he's from Oak Park, and he and A.J. McCarron are best friends.
Yeah.
A.J. signed with Houston yesterday for $3 million for 1 year.
That's not bad money.
We talked about that earlier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're waiting on Max Howell, and he was trying to get in just a moment ago, and he didn't know how to move him around. But we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back to more of Today in L.A. How you doing?
Hey folks, are you tired of spending hard-earned money on a gas grill only to have it burn up in less than 2 years? Not to mention burning your food. Here at Southern Grill and Patio in Troy, Alabama, we carry the Holland Grill line. They've been around since 1988, and there are people right here in Troy that have had theirs for over 20 years. These grills are guaranteed not to flare up. You can grill, steam, or smoke on your new Holland Grill today. Come see us at Southern Grill and Patio in Troy, Alabama, inside Town and Country Flooring Center.
If you've had an accident or just want a new look for your vehicle, come see us at Troy Paint and Body, where we do it right the first time. Our staff has more than 100 years combined experience and can handle repairs and paint work on any make or model. We also offer a lifetime guarantee as long as you own your vehicle. Our 24-hour towing service means we're here when you need us. Troy Paint and Body, where we may meet by accident, but you'll be glad we did. So come see us at Troy Paint and Body, located on South Brundage Street in Troy beside the post office.
When you are handed the key to a new Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick or GMC, rev up your imagination. Think of all the places you can go in some of the most stylish, best quality cars available on the market today. Feel confident driving vehicles with superb dependability and safety ratings. And smile, you saved a ton of money because you bought at Bill Jackson. Let the only thing holding you back be the end of the road. A Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC vehicle will not only change your life, it saves you money like nowhere else.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen. We got Max Howell calling in from Fulton, Mississippi, if I can get this to work right. And we'll try to get him right here. Try to get Max Howell. Hopefully we can get him.
Hello.
Max, how you doing?
Doing good, Mike.
Man, I'm sorry about that. We just ran into some difficulties transferring you onto the line. I'm sorry about that. Max Howell calling in from Fulton, Mississippi. Max, how you doing?
It was good, Mike. It's a beautiful spring day up here today, and it's expecting about 65, 70 degrees, and not a cloud in the sky, and we're happy to have it, I'll tell you.
You're exactly right. I agree with you. And of course, this is a good day to go play a little golf if you played golf. Only problem with golf is, Max, it's 4 hours, and it's hard to give up 4 hours, isn't it?
You're right, Mike. It really, and let me tell you, being a little competitive, if you don't play, this is better than anybody. If you don't play on a regular basis, you don't get very good.
No, you're right.
and it's hard to give up 4 hours, 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah.
To make yourself better.
Max, I'm going to bring in Mike right here. At least I'm saying I am.
You got me.
All right, Max, are you on? Okay, I got to bring Max back on.
Just hold to Max.
All right, here we go. Max, is that you? Well, here we go. There we go, right here. Okay, who's on the line? Mike, are you? Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm on.
All right, I'm going to bring Max in right here. I think I'm going to bring him on. I'm having troubles here. All right, you hang up if you will. All right, here we go. All right, Max Howell. Max, are you on? There we go. You on today in L.A.? How you doing? Oh, boy, I've never had this problem before. And hopefully we'll be able to get this taken care of in a moment. You on today in L.A.? Good morning. Hello. We're waiting on trying to get this. Boy, this is a doozy here. Trying to bring them on. All right, Max. Now, let me see here. You're on. Hi, Max. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Max Howell calling in from Fulton, Mississippi this morning. How's things going?
Mike, going very well. Of course, like I say, the spring break's all over in Mississippi, and all the teams are back on the field practicing. And had a chance to visit with some folks over at Mississippi State yesterday, and looks like they're trying to find them a quarterback. Ole Miss is back at it today as well. So, yeah, it's a great time of the year. Baseball's, going like crazy. The NCAA tournament's kicking off, so both teams from Mississippi got in. So, it looks like it's going to be a pretty good spring for them.
A lot to talk about. Of course, Max, a very well-known prognosticator, and of course knows as much about college football as anybody I know. Max, of course, I watched Troy go at it yesterday for the first time under Chip Lindsey. What do most people think about that coaching change?
I think from everybody, and I talk to a lot of people on a daily basis, Mike, and I do ask that question. And I think it's kind of a wait and see. They know I think they got 15 starters coming back with two experienced quarterbacks. They're expecting high things from them. They think Chip's going to be able to fall right in there, not knowing a whole lot about his staff on the field, coaching ability, but think where they take what they inherited from Neil Brown, they should be very competitive this fall.
We had a little gathering Monday night for the coaches, new coaches, and we had a big steak supper and had a lot of fun. I got to talk to a lot of the coaches. One of these coaches, Coach Carr, is he's the son of a former pro tight end. Do you remember him?
The name I do, but I don't know. Coaching. Yep.
He played at Louisiana Tech, and of course his daddy played at Louisiana Tech, and went on and played for the Baltimore Colts for many years at a tight end. And I was talking to him. He had previously coached at Louisiana Monroe. I really liked him, and he's one of their new coaches. But let me tell you one thing about Troy that I can never remember it happening before. They have 5 scholarship players at quarterback. 5. Can you believe that?
Well, here's normally this is what happens, Mike. You can sign 5. Look, you remember that in the era that we went through years ago, Well, that was the best position on the field. That was the most talented guy. Sure. And guys like Coach Bryant and Johnny Ball and Suge Jordan and all that guys, they would sign the quarterbacks and bring them in and then move them. When Archie Manning got to Ole Miss, there were 11 quarterbacks on the roster.
Isn't that amazing?
Like number 5 or 6 at that time. But that was what they did. So I'm not sure that we don't see some of that. You know this. You know, that number 2 and number 3, then one turned ankle away from playing. Well, you saw that at Troy last year.
No question about it. But and now I could see 3, but it's hard for me to see 5. Do you think a couple of these guys after the spring will transfer, or do you think they'll stay with it, or what do you think?
I think it depends on the individual, Mike, and that question that's a very legitimate question. The coaches will do this most of the time. They know the kid can play. He was recruited. They'll go to the kid and say, hey, you know, we need some help at wide receiver. We need some help as on special teams. We need another defensive back. You know, let's talk about moving your position. Then if they don't, if they're adamant about it, they say, no, you brought me here to be a quarterback. I want to be a quarterback. Then, you know, let's take them through spring training. Let's see how they do. And if they move up on the roster, they stay. If they don't, then they have the ability to transfer.
One of these kids is Watson kid. He's about 6'6", big, fine-looking prospect, and you know he's been here as a. This will be his 3rd year here without playing. You know, he was a redshirt 1 year, and then what did they do to him before? What do they call the other shirt? Gray shirt.
Gray shirt.
He was gray shirted. You know, 2 other quarterbacks have gone that route. One of them was one of them played 2 years ago, and then the other played, 4 or 5 years ago, and he set a school record for passing, Robinson, and then the other kid was Silvers before.
Silvers,
all right, so those 2 both went that route, and this Watson kid is going that route. He should be a very mature pure freshman. Is that right? Or redshirt freshman?
Yeah, I don't think. Here's what happens, Mike, is that it depends on a kid like that. It depends on the offense. And I don't know what Chip's going to run. I'm sure he's not going to change a whole lot because he's been too successful in what they've done. They've recruited to that style. I don't think he'll change a whole lot. But there's a difference in. I give you a perfect example. You've heard me talk about Joe Kelly at Ozark.
Oh, sure.
You know, Joe was a pocket passer, 6'3", 210 pounds, could throw it through a rain shower. He signed with Alabama when Coach Bryant was running the wishbone. But he knew he wasn't going to play. But you know what? He wanted to go to Alabama to get a degree. And he did. He played in half a dozen ball games through his career.
And he was signed the same year Scott Hunter was signed. They were in the same class.
Same class. So, and then eventually Coach Bryant changed back, you know, to another style of offense. So I use that as that example. Kids go and stay for various reasons. Some feel very comfortable. They want to get they want to get their degree. They surely would love to get playing time, but they love the school, and that's one way to do it. Others just there to try to get to the NFL.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
They where they can play.
You know, and of course with these new rules out there, you know, being able to leave after you graduate and you got another year eligibility, they can always transfer when that time comes, couldn't they?
Absolutely right. Absolutely. And of course, normally coaches that take, you know, that 1 year trip, they want a kid to come in and play now.
Yeah. The other kid is a kid out of Florida that had 58 touchdowns in his high school career, touchdown passes, and he's on campus already. And then the other kid is a very bright, upcoming redshirt, well, actually junior college player, is a kid from Brantley who is an excellent prospect. So they, he signed with Vanderbilt and then left Vanderbilt and went and played a year at a junior college. Now is at Troy, and he is a good-looking athlete. He's about 6'5", too.
Well, like I say, it depends on what Chip. What were they running yesterday when you watched them practice?
Well, pretty much the same offense. From what I gathered, I didn't stay very long because I went and worked a baseball game, but I'll look at them a little bit closer tomorrow. They're going to practice 3 times a week. They tell me that they're going to be in pads on Saturday, so that'll be fun to go out and see.
Right. What time are those Saturday practices, you know?
I don't know. I would think 10 o'clock. Now, I could be wrong. Yeah. I would think there'd be morning practices because
I'm coming down on the 13th, so I want to get there early that morning so that I can, if they go practice that Saturday morning, I want to watch them.
Exactly. You're taken care of on the 13th at the Marriott, so that's a done deal. Of course, Max Howell, my good friend, I've known him forever. I remember watching him in the weight room. Back when Max Howell came to Troy, I would say there might have been, it was you and what? Were you the only guy that had actually been through a serious weight program?
I think so.
Talking about lifting.
Jim Tompkins came on board.
Yeah, but out of high school though, Jim didn't know anything about weights, did he?
No. If you remember, Mike, when we first got there, the only people that were doing anything that knew anything about that was Nick Costage with the track program. He was the one that actually had the, and it was in the PE department. It wasn't even in the athletic department with the football program.
But now of course we don't think of that at all. Now if you don't have the weight room's the first place that a kid being recruited right now wants to go to, doesn't he?
Absolutely right. That's what. And I'm gonna tell you, you and I've talked about this before. When a new staff comes in, when you hire your head coach, the first guy he's going to hire is a strength and conditioning coach. Not only because of the all-season program, but he can be with the team the year round.
Oh yeah.
He's the only group of guys the coach probably got a head guy and 1 or 2 assistants at least there, and they can take them on the field. They can do everything with them. So that to me is the most critical position after the head coach is hired.
Now the defensive side of the ball, the defensive coordinator is a guy that was here last year. He had coached previously at Jacksonville State on some of those real good defensive they had, but he came out of Oklahoma. He was actually at Oklahoma for 4 or 5 years, so I would think he knows a little bit about defense. Wouldn't you think?
I would think so. I don't think there's any doubt. Coach Keenan had the defense playing very well, though. If you remember with Neil Brown. And
no question about it.
Look, Mike, Troy's program's been elevated, and it was all surrounded with a great recruiting, and then coaching those players up once they got there.
That's right.
And I think this is. I just don't know a lot about the staff of their background and all of them. You helped me already with some of the names.
Well, and of course, one of the Coach Lindsey coached at Southern Miss, and a lot of the people he's bringing in are from Southern Miss, people that were with him from Southern Miss. He brought in a defensive secondary coach from Arizona State when he was out there for 1 year, and he really liked this guy, so he brought him from Arizona State. If you'll think about it, Neil was, Coach Chip Lindsey was, he was a high school coach. Then he, of course, went to Southern Miss and coached there on some real good teams. In fact, one of the years, I think I want to say 2016 or 2015, he had a 4,000-yard passer and a 2,000-yard rusher. Oh, wait a minute, 2,000-yard rushers. That was over 6,000 yards in offense, which was very impressive.
Yeah, it really. I recall that. I remember. So remember, he was at Spain Park, then he went to Auburn for 1 year, then he went to Southern Miss.
Yeah.
And what was that? 2 or 3 years there. Then he went to Arizona State.
Yeah.
And then, of course, then back to Auburn as the offensive coordinator.
For 2 years, yeah.
Troy.
And then of course, I'll tell you something about him that impressed me more than anything. All right, you take the guy that's now at Kansas, who is a longtime coach at LSU, Les Miles, who, let me tell you something, anybody that tells you that Les Miles is not a good football coach, they're crazy. I mean, you look at his record, he was an outstanding coach. Don't you agree?
He was. The only thing
just did some crazy things.
He's just a little quirky, but now X's and O's, I think he does as well as anybody in the country. And of course, it didn't hurt him, Mike, that he was at LSU.
No question. Yeah, that has a lot to do with it too. You know, he was known for eating grass and known for doing crazy things on kicks. You know, he had all kinds of trick plays. You remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I'll tell you what I'm coming down to though. When we hired Chip Lindsey, the thing that impressed me more than anything, of course, he had been at Malzahn thought he was a good enough coach to have him for 2 years as his offensive coordinator. You know, Malzahn's not going to just hire anybody unless he's good. And then this guy leaves Auburn and goes to Kansas under Les Miles. Hey, Miles is trying to keep his football life going, you know. And he's not going to just hire just anybody to be his offensive coordinator. And he hired Chip Lindsey. That'll tell you a lot right there. Don't you agree?
I think that progression that he's made along, and I don't blame him for what Chip knows and what he's been, his background, why he left Auburn, because Gus was not going to let him call a play.
No, and yeah, right. That was
and that was the reason. I'm sure he was frustrated as he could be. Was brought there to do one thing and never got a chance.
You know what I've heard that he didn't tell me this, but I've heard people say this, that he used to have to call during the game. Both of them got the headphones on. He said, "Coach, you want me to call this play, or are you gonna call it?" Yeah. That's not the way you want to do it, you know.
No, that's now Gus has publicly said he's gonna call all the plays this year. Now here's what I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch. Does he have enough talent to call his offense when he's got the talent, Mike? They can win and it'll be big. But I hadn't seen the talent level at the key positions there for him to do that. So I'm saying that to you to say I don't blame Chip Lindsey for leaving. Of course, coming from Auburn as an offensive coordinator going to Troy, and I know he made that quick stop for a couple of weeks out at Kansas, but that was the reason he left Kansas.
Oh yeah, no question. Yeah.
Auburn, to go anywhere where he can coach again, and he's got a good opportunity there.
And, of course, I'm sure Les Miles' contract out at Kansas had to be 6 or 7 years because no way in the world anybody would take a job at Kansas and only have 2 years to build a program. You're going to have 5 or 6 years to build a program at Kansas. Don't you agree?
I agree. I absolutely. I agree. I mean, look, those kids out there come to play basketball and football's an afterthought out there. And I hope Les Miles can turn it around. I really do. That league needs.
I do too. I wish him a lot of luck. They say he's a great guy. They say he's a super guy. And
I just don't know where he can recruit well enough to get enough players to come to get. You ever been to Manhattan, Kansas?
Oh, I know it.
Mike, you can see it.
Wait a minute now, but now he's not in Manhattan. Now he's at university. He was at the University of Kansas, which is in Lawrence. He's from Lawrence.
Okay.
But you're right. That Kansas State is the ugliest place I've ever been in my life.
That's true.
That old gray stone buildings and purple and dull gray uniforms.
And kids, you know that the immediate impact, whether it's at Kansas State, or wherever it is, Iowa State's another one like that. That immediate impact is what they see is that first impression they get. And it's hard to get them, to get a bunch of quality players.
But again, something we brought up earlier was 5 scholarship players. That's really now Auburn, I think, got working with 4, but I doubt as many schools in the entire nation have 5 scholarship players at quarterback. Would you agree?
Yeah, like I said, I would look for after spring. Yeah, I think you hit it right on the head. They're going to be those number 4 and number 5 on the depth chart's going to probably give an opportunity. We want you to stay. We recruited you. You might need to talking about moving to another position. You can always be a backup quarterback. You can always run the scout team, during the week.
Exactly, no question.
There's a lot of things you can do with them. Now, if they're headstrong just to play quarterback, then I agree with you 100%. They're going to transfer.
No question about it. Now, something else about Troy, they only have 2 running backs that have much experience. They've signed a kid out of Florida, but right now they're having a hard time getting him eligible. He's a big back, but right now they've got just 2 running backs that are scholarship guys right now. That sounds a little bit wrong.
That running game plays a lot to do with their with their offense, because at read option stuff, you got to have a run. See, that's what happened to Auburn. They didn't have a quality running back to set the pass up, and that's that's quality. And in the league Troy plays in, that's a place you need 3 or 4 running backs now.
How many times have you heard this saying was, if they've got to play this pure freshman, they're not very good? All right, now this Cox kid's supposed to be a great player that's right out of high school, but if you got to play a pure freshman, you're sort of in trouble, aren't you?
Mike, that used to be the case, but that's not the case anymore. These kids
think they're ready?
Now, if you got to play them on the offensive line, defensive line, yeah. But skill positions, wide receiver, running back, quarterback, these kids coming out now. Look at the pure freshmen who won national championships.
Oh,
in
yeah.
the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, you're right.
Of course, Tua threw that pass. He was a freshman in Alabama. Then look at this past year with Clemson. That kid's playing high school football.
That's right. And you're exactly right. He's probably the best example. And, of maturity. Now, Cox, of course, his name is Cox. And what's his kid's name? Daddy's the coach, a high school coach. I want to say his name is Cox, but I could be wrong. But
which one?
The Auburn quarterback, the high school kid, whose daddy was a high school coach at. Is it Cox?
Clemson.
Yeah. I was thinking about the kid.
Cox.
I was thinking about the kid that signed with Auburn. That is the coach, high school coach.
Yeah, I can't remember. See, all the time. Pat, you talking about Bo Nix?
Bo Nix. What am I thinking about? Bo Nix.
Patrick Nix.
And of course, and you're right. And they won 2 straight state championships. And his daddy was the coach. Yeah. You know, doesn't that surprise you that his daddy didn't get a college job out of this?
Well, but to see the rule today won't let you do that. Not going to where your kid goes.
All right.
See, Bentley at South Carolina.
Yes.
Was the last. That's when they changed the rule.
Okay.
When they signed Jake Bentley when he was out of Opelika or somewhere.
Yeah, that's right.
They brought his dad on to go with him, and his uncle also.
That's right. I forgot all about that, Max. Yeah.
Oh yeah, his uncle is a strength and conditioning coach there.
And the unusual thing about this kid is he went as a junior. He didn't play his senior year at all in high school. He left and went as a junior, and gosh, he was pretty successful.
Yeah. He's the most experienced quarterback coming to the Southeast. Of course, Brum coming from Georgia, but Bentley, if Bentley had the players around him that Georgia's got, they'd be a force.
Yeah, no question.
But no, Bo Nix is the projected guy to start for Auburn this past year. Of course, like I said, they got 4 up there. Gatewood is a kid.
I
forget the league's last.
He can, and of course, he can run. He can run. Right. Gatewood can.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what spring's all about, though.
Well, another kid that I thought that I think is going to be is the Sandberg kid. Whose uncle was Ryan Sandberg, a Hall of Fame player for the Cubs. Right. Sandberg has been out 6 years now, out of high school. 6 years he played professional baseball.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know, a guy with that kind of maturity, if he's as good as everybody, they said he was a 4-star out of high school, and now he's got all this maturity behind him. He might be a guy to watch at Auburn. What do you think?
Well, and you're right. And would you not say that position's wide open?
Yeah, oh yeah.
All of them going to get a chance. I think we're going to really find out how good a coach Gus Malzahn is this year, Mike.
Yeah.
Because he's got some experienced players coming in, and I mean what I'm talking about experience come with a good resume, not experience playing at that level. So that's what he's got to do is develop those guys, and that's not the only, but one of the things that's a negative on him. Remember they signed the Jimmy Johnson kid out of Montgomery?
Right. Oh yeah, and just ruined him.
All world play, and he never developed.
Yeah. And see, he could do it all. And the quarterback said they got to have now. You've got to be able to run. I mean,
that's absolutely right.
Alabama's the only one that's getting away with a guy that doesn't have to run.
And the reason is because they got 5 or 6 All-American running backs.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. And handed off to.
That's right.
It's an interesting concept.
Yeah. I tell you what, this Auburn spring game would be a great game to go to see what's going to happen there. Yeah. That's going to be something.
Yep, very true. I think, and I'm going to follow very close. Philip Marshall is a good friend of mine. He writes a pretty good article on a daily basis
Oh yeah, hey, you know what? His daddy turned over in his grave when Philip changed. He changed from a lifelong Alabama fan to an Auburn fan.
That's very true. He did. I recall that very well.
His daddy was one guy named Benny Marshall, and everybody. He was a legendary Birmingham News sports guy.
Yeah, that's correct.
It was a huge Bear Bryant and Alabama fan, wasn't he?
He absolutely was, and of course Philip grew up in that industry, and it does a good job. I mean, he's level, he's pretty objective about it. If Auburn's not playing well, he points out the weaknesses. He's not a big time homer.
Yeah,
but he's built a good career there in Auburn, I'll tell you.
Max, back to your personal life a little bit, and of course Max Howell I've known a long time, and what I meant by him being the first weight guy, you know, he's the first guy that came in with muscles. I mean, he had muscles all over him. I remember seeing you as a high school kid in the weight room. You're the only guy that had any muscles, But you know, the weight started coming in. But you know, when I played under Clemson that first year, we hadn't hardly touched weights. You know, it was just a shame. But now the guys that are conditioned are the guys that are going to play, and the big strong guys. They said that Hurt was working out on the squats. Listen to this now, Max. 600 pounds.
Yeah.
He was working out yesterday with 600 pounds on the squat rack.
Let me tell you, Mike, today the norm, how much has it changed? The norm is 300 on the bench, 600 on the squat, and about anywhere from 280 to 310 on the clean and jerk.
What I'm talking, I'm holding up my weights right now, Max. I'm holding up 600 pounds on my weights. Now, we're talking about using free weights, 600 pounds on the weights. And I got to go all the way down and touch a chair, which is way down, and then come up. It kills me just to think of that.
Yeah.
The strain that you're putting on everything.
Let me tell you what we got right here, though, in Fulton, Mississippi. Etowah Community College has the world champion in the deadlift, in the bench press, in the squat. The world champion.
Oh, man.
On those three lifts.
Etowah, we're talking about scuba or Etowah?
No, we're talking about Etowah.
Okay, yeah.
The Etowah Community College in Etowah County.
Okay, yeah.
The guy, the deadlift, the bench, and the squat, 1,500 pounds.
Oh, gosh.
The guy deadlift 1,100 pounds.
Oh, me. Is he a player?
No, he's the coach.
Oh, he's the coach, yeah.
He competes he's competed in the Olympics. Yeah. Well, you ought to see the guy, Mike.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something right here. You might not have never heard, and we've got it on film. And I even lost a wager on it. We call him Yazir Israel. Was our assistant strength coach. We watched him do 225 52 times.
Yeah.
He did 225. 52 times.
That's what they do at the combine. See, that's the way the programs have gone. There's two philosophies. One, in the bulk weight, get the 1 or 2 reps with as much as you get, or the endurance rate, and that's what the NFL looks for, is that endurance. They want that 225, 20, anywhere from 25 to 30, 40 times is what they like. If you can't do it 25 times in the combine, you don't need to be there.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to look at you.
It's really amazing.
Have to do it at that level.
Now, I want to mention now, did I mention this the other day that Jack Gregory has died?
Yeah.
Did I talk to you about that?
Yeah.
Now, up around where you live, Tupelo and Fulton, he was a well-known guy, wasn't he?
Oh, absolutely. Well, of course, he started off in Chattanooga. He played with Danny Glenn and Paul Benson.
Oh, sure.
All that bunch that we brought to Troy.
That's right.
Chattanooga. Then he transferred to Delta State. It played.
And y'all played against him in Ozark. I mentioned that the other day. Brentsville on Facebook was talking about it, and I said, you played with him at Chattanooga, and then you played against him at Delta State.
Right. That's right. We beat him too.
Beat him on the last play of the game from Sim Bird to Danny Grant.
That's right.
Was that as good a passing combination you ever seen?
That was in those days, it was the best in America.
And, you know, I will say this right now. As good as Danny Grant was, he didn't run any faster than 4.6 or maybe 4.7. What do you think? He was not a great speed guy.
No, but he had great hands.
I mean, Insland was a lot faster. Insland and Ben Screen both were faster than Grant, weren't they?
They were. They absolutely were. Remember, Mike, what we were playing against? We were playing against zone defenses.
Yeah, that's right.
Defenses, remember, they were going to line up at 8 yards and start backpedaling.
Yeah.
And Danny would break it off at about 8 yards, and he'd be wide open.
Y'all ran that out as good as any combination I've ever seen. Only the great Raymond Berry from Unitas to Berry had a better out pattern than Bird to Grant. What do you think?
That's very true. That's about true. That was at the next level, too.
I mean, they was automatic. Oh, it's the way y'all threw that out pattern.
Yeah. And you know what? What we did, after we set it all up on the out, run the out, run the out, then Danny come out there and take one step to the out, the defensive back to break, and he'd break it in the middle and go on a go route, and we'd score.
And the other two guys they had, one of them was Vince Green, which, man, he's got to go in the Hall of Fame one day. I mean, he was a great player. Over 1,000 yards. He's the first 1,000-yard receiver ever at Troy. But it was really amazing how good it was. But Doug Taylor, the tight end, was an excellent tight end that could run a little bit and had great hands. You remember that?
Mike, let me tell you, against Willamette,
I remember
the playoffs in that 68 team, we spread them out and we backed Doug off like an H-back. He scored like 5 touchdowns that night because the safety didn't know who to cover.
Yeah. The final score was 63-10, and Bird threw 6 touchdown passes and 500-something yards. I know the next week they played for the championship against Texas A&I, and Bird threw 5 more touchdowns in that game. I want to say he threw 11 touchdown passes for over 1,000 yards in 2 games.
Yeah, that's about right.
How good is that? Could you win a national championship with that kind of...
Absolutely, but Mike, let me just tell you what we had. You know this. Our scheme and our system were so much further ahead than anybody.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we had the NFL system playing in a league that basically played high school football.
Yeah. And what y'all did, y'all used your receivers out of the backfield more than most people. Is that right?
Absolutely right. I mean, that was our safety valve. And, we start off with, 36 even time to do a pitch on a sweep. We come right back and fake that, bootleg it out, and see if we go down the field. It was a thing to watch.
Oh, yeah.
And people today gets all excited about all the things. We were doing those things in the 60s.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, you had a great running back in Jeff Cotton. That was just a super running back. That man Ed, that was 34 or 36 man Ed. What was that?
That was 36. Yeah, the back blocked the end.
Yeah.
And it depends on where we cut in. We pulled both guards. With Albertines.
Yeah.
Cole and Bobby Floyd. We ran those.
They were small linemen, really. Big Thompson was Thompson played offense or defense.
Yeah, he was a defensive tackle on the inside.
Yeah, defensive tackle. He's a big guy.
He was. Yeah, because he was about 6'5", 6'6" at that time. And, was a big kid. He and Hatcher were our 2 inside defensive tackles.
Yeah, boy, they were good. Boy, I tell you.
On the offense, we had George Hires on one side, Fred Collins on the other.
And our buddy from Ellick City was in there, too. Big boy. From Ellick City.
He's a bank player.
That's right. He sure is. He played some, too, on that team. But
yes, man.
But now you coached the offensive part of everything, didn't you?
I coached you. I called every snap. I was the offensive coordinator. Now, but remember, after Bill Morrison.
But then he was listening in, though. Old Billy was listening in, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, but let me tell you, I coached the offensive line and the defensive line.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Y'all didn't have but 3 coaches, did you?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And then, of course, the next year in '69, we brought Pete Jenkins in.
Yeah, that's right.
His career is unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's an NFL Hall of Famer.
So y'all had some great ones. Even now, was Tank Mitchell on your group, or was he later?
He followed us after we left. Tank he did.
Yeah.
Let's see. When I left, the guy was at Auburn and from Evergreen.
Oh yeah, Wayne Frazier. Who had played in the pros a long time.
Right, yeah. took over the offensive line play. And Pete stayed another year, I think, and coached the defensive side.
So y'all had a great staff, no question about it.
Yeah, and if Al Head had not gotten hurt, we'd have won the championship.
I tell you, you're right. Y'all were very good that next year. I want to mention this. We hadn't talked lately about what's for dinner. Have you been feeding folks lately?
Man, let me tell you what I did Sunday night. I went down to our friends that have a big river house down here, and I did what I call it rattlesnake chicken.
Wait a minute, don't do that now.
Yeah, let me tell you what it is now. You take a chicken breast and you split it, and you put your jalapeno peppers in it, and you wrap it in bacon, and you put it on the grill. And when the bacon's done, when the bacon gets crisp, and the chicken's done.
Oh, really?
I cooked that, baked beans, I had coleslaw, I had garlic bread to go with that. We had a big old pitcher of sweet iced tea, and then after that, you got to know on Sunday afternoon in Mississippi, we had Mississippi mud pie.
Well, let me ask you this now. Now, how many breasts did you have to cut?
Oh my gosh, I must have cooked 10 or 15 chicken breasts.
Yeah. But was it real hot though, real spicy, or what?
No, well, they're spicy, but they're not hot. You can't buy hot jalapenos off the shelf.
Yeah.
It's just that spicy and the little vinegar taste.
I got
that
you.
you get with the bacon. So it's a great combination. If you've never tried it, I brought about 6 or 8 of them home. I've been eating at night.
Well, I tell you what, you're something else. You live your life to the fullest. Max, we appreciate it. I'm so sorry that we got messed up today. We're having trouble putting 4 people on the line at the same time. That was what it would have been. We had Will Matthews and Mike, but we appreciate talking to you and look forward to talking to you again next Wednesday right here on this show.
We'll do it, buddy. And I'm looking forward to being down there on the 13th.
Okay, we're looking forward to seeing you, and look forward to it. You take care, my friend.
All right. Thanks so much,
you.
Mike.
That's Max Howell. Hope that you enjoyed today's show. Brought to you by some great sponsors, and we appreciate them so very much. And we'll be back here again. Of course, we're going to take this show and run it again at 1:30. But then we're going to be with you live tomorrow morning. We got the head baseball coach at Charles Simpson High School, and Sam Judah Jr. is going to be along with him, the assistant coach, to talk about the great program at Charles Simpson High School in baseball. And we'll be right back tomorrow morning, bright and early, for Today in L.A.